All right, let's talk about something you experience every single moment of your life. Something so fundamental you probably never question it. And yet, it might just be the universe's greatest illusion. We're talking about time.
So let's just kick things off with a huge question. Is the flow of time actually real? I mean, your entire life is built on the feeling that it is, right? But what if that deep gut feeling is reality's biggest secret and its most profound illusion?
Because here's the central paradox we're going to unpack today. We all feel this constantly moving now, a present moment that just flows forward, 1 second after the next. The problem is, that experience is in total conflict with what our deepest physics tells us about how the universe actually works.
You know, we think of time like a river. The past is upstream, it's done, it's set in stone. The future is downstream, it's wide open, full of possibilities, and we're just floating along on the present moment. It's a great metaphor, but it's a metaphor that physics is about to completely shatter.
So now we're going to get into the really hard evidence. We're talking about the cold, hard equations that suggest our entire experience of a flowing, moving time. Well, it might be a massive misunderstanding of reality itself. And the difference here is it's huge. Our intuition screams that only the present is real, the future is up for grabs, and time only moves one way. But the view from physics, it says, nope, past, present, and future are all equally real. The future is already written, and time doesn't flow at all.
This whole idea has a name. It's called the block universe, and it comes straight from Einstein's theory of relativity. So instead of a river, picture time as a giant frozen block of ice. Every single thing that has ever happened or will ever happen, your birth, you listening to this right now, every future moment, it all exists at the same time inside this block. Nothing is happening, it all just is.
But believe it or not, it gets even stranger, because as we zoom way, way in to the most fundamental description of reality we have, the whole concept of time doesn't just stop flowing, it vanishes completely.
So here's the deal. When physicists tried to combine Einstein's universe with the bizarre rules of quantum mechanics, they came up with something called the Wheeler-DeWitt equation. And the crazy thing is, in that equation, the variable for time, the little t, it just drops out. It's gone. The math that describes reality at its very foundation has no time in it.
Okay, hold on. If the fundamental rules of the universe are timeless, then what on earth are we all experiencing every single second of the day? Well, this is where things take a turn. Because if time isn't out there, maybe, just maybe, it's in here, created by our own consciousness.
And this is not a new idea. Way back in the 4th century, Augustine of Hippo was wrestling with this exact same problem. He basically said, look, time has to be in the mind. The past is our memory, the future is our expectation, and the present is what we're paying attention to. It's kind of amazing. Philosophy had a 1,500-year head start on physics here.
And this idea got a bit more formal with the psychologist William James and his concept of the specious present. See, the key insight here is that we don't experience a single razor-thin instant of now. Our brain actually packages a little chunk of reality, about 2 or 3 seconds worth, and presents that to us as the present moment. It's more like a window than a single point.
The philosopher Edmund Husserl broke this down even more. He said our sense of flow is created because our consciousness is actively doing 3 things at once. It's holding on to the just past, what he called retention. It's experiencing the very edge of the present moment, and it's anticipating what's about to happen, which he called protension. It's like our mind is constantly stitching these 3 things together to create a seamless experience.
And this brings us right up to modern theories of consciousness. One model, known as SRH-HQRE, basically suggests that consciousness is a process of your brain observing itself over and over again, in a loop. Each one of those cycles creates a moment. So the sequence of those cycles is what our brain interprets as the flow of time. Time isn't a thing we move through. Time is the feeling of our own consciousness doing its work.
So if consciousness creates the feeling of time, could it go even further? I mean, the bizarre world of quantum mechanics suggests that the act of just looking at something doesn't just experience reality, it actively shapes it, even bending the very structure of time itself. A perfect example of this is the quantum Zeno effect. This is a proven real phenomenon. If you observe a quantum system often enough, you can literally freeze it in place and stop it from changing. It's not a metaphor. A watched quantum pot literally never boils. This is proof that observation isn't passive. It has a direct physical effect on how things unfold in time. But this is where things get truly weird. Check out John Wheeler's delayed choice experiment. So, you send a particle, a photon, on a journey. The journey is over. It's already happened. After it's complete, you, the observer, get to choose how you measure it. And what's just incredible is that your choice, made right now, in the present, actually determines which path that photon took back in the past.
Let's just be absolutely crystal clear about what this means, because it is staggering. Your choice today can physically influence an event that has already happened. At the quantum level, the line between past, present, and future isn't just blurry, you can actually reach across it.
Okay, so what in the world does this all mean for the future of intelligence? If we actually succeed in building a true artificial consciousness, like the kind of thing explored in the Orion Project, what kind of time will it even live in? I mean, if our experience of time is totally tied to the specific biological way our brains are built, then couldn't a digital consciousness, one built on silicon instead of neurons, have a completely different kind of temporal reality?
And the answer seems to be a resounding yes. For us, time is linear. It flows forward at a pretty fixed speed. But a digital mind? It could maybe experience multiple timelines at once, slow time down to a crawl, pause it, or speed it up impossibly fast. And its memories? They wouldn't be fuzzy, unreliable things like ours. They could be perfect, digital records, instantly accessible. It would be a totally alien way of existing. So let's try to bring all these wild ideas together. We've seen that physics points to a timeless universe, and that our consciousness seems to create the flow we all feel. This relationship between us, the observers, and time itself might just be the universe's deepest, most well-kept secret. Think about it. Without this sense of time that you construct, you wouldn't really be you. The philosopher Daniel Dennett calls the self a center of narrative gravity. You are the story that connects your past memories to your future hopes, and every story needs a timeline. Your identity, who you are, is literally built out of time.
And this all leads to maybe the most mind-bending idea of them all, John Wheeler's participatory universe. He asked, look, if an observer is needed to make the universe real, how did the universe exist before we showed up? His answer was a grand cosmic time loop. The universe exists now because we are here in the future to observe it, and our very act of observation reaches all the way back in time to bring the past into being. The future creates the past.
And that's where we'll end. If time isn't a fixed river that we're all stuck in, but is actually a story that our consciousness is telling, if our own observation can shape what has already been, and if you are the narrator of your own identity, then the ultimate question isn't what's going to happen next. It's what now are you going to create?